JD Vance just told his own voters to shut up and be grateful.
Now, I must address an elephant in the room, and I've heard the guy over here talking about it. A fear that some of you have that not enough progress has been made. But I think all of us also have to remember that we are commanded to let not our hearts be troubled.
JD Vance stood on a stage at March for Life and told anti-abortion activists, his own people, the voters who literally got him elected, to calm down and stop complaining. Let your hearts not be troubled, he said, straight up cosplaying as if he's some redneck Jesus while simultaneously stripping healthcare away from millions of people, including them.
Right now, the American people get crap healthcare and they pay way too much for it. This system is broken. The Democrats broken, but who cares?
This is real. This is happening right now. And real quick, I'm Lauren Paritra. Willa Paritra is taking a nap. Please take a moment to subscribe to us because currently we have a lead on Katie Miller, who is the wife of Stephen Little Bitch Miller, the white nationalist from Santa Monica, the very pale guy who looks like he was guest-stated in a basement and fed just sunscreen and misery. And he's the reason behind all this ICE terror. Nobody voted for him, and yet here he is. And Katie is married to him on purpose, and she's building a podcast on the backs of trafficked immigrants and children. So keep in mind, every sub, every hype, every like, every comment is an FU to Katie Miller and Stephen Little Bitch Miller. So here's what Vance's speech actually means. You got what you wanted with Dobbs. Now shut up and be grateful while we figure out how to look moderate enough to continue to win elections.
My friends, I'd ask you to look where the fight for life stood just 1 decade ago. And now, look where it stands today.
Vance's speech actually means this. The anti-abortion movement is furious. And honestly, they should be. Go be mad. They were promised a nationwide abortion ban. They were promised restrictions on abortion pills. Instead, they got Trump telling Republicans to be flexible.
Now, you have to be a little flexible on Hyde. You know that. You gotta be a little flexible. You gotta work something.
And Vance performing inspirational speeches while doing the absolute fucking bare minimum.
God bless you all, and thanks for having me.
And look, I don't feel bad for them. They made this bed, but I feel bad for the millions of people losing access to healthcare while Vance tells everyone not to be troubled. I voted the way I did because I care about people even if they don't care about their own rights. Dozens of Planned Parenthood health centers have closed.
The last Planned Parenthood remaining in the state of Louisiana closed its door today in New Orleans.
Not abortion clinics, cancer screening options, STI testing, birth control access, basic preventative care is gone. Vance has the nerve to stand on stage and say, look how far we've come. While people are losing access to healthcare, some of them might not even know it. Care that literally keeps them alive. But look, Vance is actually prioritizing this. While he's quoting some scripture, he's detaining 5-year-olds, a US citizen, a kindergartner, we all saw it with our own eyes, was separated from his family by ICE. What crime does a 5-year-old even commit? How do you guys even grapple with that one? You say an unauthorized nap time or some shit? Yet Vance tells us not to let our little hearts be troubled. He's going after daycare centers for fraud.
This video captured the moment ICE agents dragged a pre-K teacher out of a daycare center on Chicago's north side. She can be seen pleading with the agents as she's pushed up against a waiting sedan. At one point, she shouts in Spanish, "I have papers."
Daycare centers, the place where tiny humans eat floor snacks. This is the criminal enterprise of choice for them, requiring federal intervention. Not the mattress stores open 24 hours a day. Has anyone ever been to a mattress store in the middle of the night? Why are there so many on Santa Monica Boulevard? Are they maybe laundering money? But no, let's go after the daycare centers. Picture JD Vance, clipboard in hand, standing in a daycare, muttering to himself with the 3-year-old as they're eating a crayon, while Trump, Vance, and their administration cuts nearly $1 billion from FEMA, sheds half of FEMA's disaster response capacity.
Earlier this year, the Trump administration announced cutbacks at the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Now in the middle of hurricane season and peak fire season, some of its remaining employees are warning that FEMA's ability to respond to disasters has been crippled by these changes. The letter, called the Katrina Declaration, is signed publicly by 36 current and former FEMA employees and backed anonymously by more than 150 more. It argues that the Trump administration has reversed some of the progress that FEMA has made since Hurricane Katrina hit back in 2005.
Then standing on a stage calling themselves pro-life unless you're a wildfire survivor, with an insurance claim, or unless you're one of the hundreds of thousands of families who had their properties destroyed and sold off to developers.
We are here at the Pacific Highlands area of the Palisades fire in Pacific Palisades. This is the epicenter. This is where it all began. And it's so eerie to see these burned out cars.
Pro-life, that only applies before birth. After that, you're on your own unless you're wealthy enough that the system works for you. And the anti-abortion movement is catching on now that they were all useful idiots. They delivered votes. They got Dobbs. Now they're getting these speeches from a man that nobody likes.
I look at this crowd and I see young people for whom Dobbs is the only world they've ever known.
About being told to not be troubled while Trump walks back on every single promise. They wanted a nationwide ban. They got states' rights, which is more or less a loophole for nationwide bans. They wanted pill restrictions. That's happening. And Trump said, we'll be flexible. They got permission to invade clinics without any consequences.
You have nothing to do with that.
Next, we have a set of pardons for peaceful pro-life protesters.
This is a great honor to sign this.
That act doesn't apply to them. Trump said it. So J.D. Vance doesn't suck just because he's anti-abortion. J.D. Vance sucks for a whole lot of reasons, because he's performing this speech as if he's like some moral compass while being the cruelest motherfucking VP in all of history. He literally quoted Jesus while defending policies that punish the most vulnerable people in America. He's standing there on stage saying, let your little hearts not be troubled, to people losing access to cancer screenings, to families being separated, to disaster survivors whose governments abandoned them. Let your little hearts not be troubled. That's what he's saying, and that's how you know you're lying. That's when you know your own base is starting to realize that they got played.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly would like abortion to be illegal nationally.
My question is, why have you changed your position?
Well, Nora, first of all, I never supported a national ban.
And this whole anti-abortion forced birth movement delivered the votes that they wanted. They overturned Roe.
And we here know, that treating everyone with dignity isn't always easy.
And now they're watching Vance and his guyliner on stage tell them to calm down while Trump makes the whole movement look moderate enough so that way they can continue to hold power. And if you're subscribed, good, great, thank you. If you're not, please take a moment to subscribe and fix that. The least you can do is give an FU to Katie and Stephen Little Bitch Miller. And let this be a reminder that we see through this performance and bullshit. We're doing this every day for you. The gaslighting is only going to get worse. These conditions are only going to get worse. Stay with us and stay subscribed. I'm Lauren Paritra, and Willa Paritra is taking a nap right there. She'll be back.